Hello, vlogging with Gibster, back here for another drawing video, and today's going to be quite a different type of drawing video because today is another installment to Gibbemon, but also a sort of instructional video on how to make a Fakemon. So this will be split up into sort of two parts. So this one, because there's two different types of Pokemon and therefore two types of Fakemon that I sort of defined them through. There are ones that are animal-like, and then there are Fakemon that are just inanimate objects that have some sort of life. So it's going to be split into two videos on how to make both types of Fakemon. And I'm pretty sure all I've done is animal ones. I'm pretty sure I've not done an object one. So today will be an object one. But just a little sneak peek for you guys. Well, not a sneak peek, but just a little hint. I will be making a replacement to Ditto, the transforming Pokemon, and it will be another inanimate object one. Because Ditto is, well, it is also based on a blobfish. It's also just a pile of goo. But anyway, so today we'll be Today we'll be making a Greek gladiator Gibbemon. And then in the animal video, we'll be making a sort of counterpart to that. So this object will be based on Spartacus, which is a very famous Greek gladiator, one of the most powerful. And yes, we'll be basing it on that, and it's going to be some sort of inanimate object. So I got my reference pictures. I have a look of some Spartacus armor and what weapons he would use. He would typically use swords, like quite small swords. And then, yeah, that's all I've got there. And I've also got another reference just for what it could end up looking like, just for ideas. So we're going to be starting with this reference image here. And it's going to be some sort of inanimate object. So the way to start with making a Fakemon is gather a lot of ideas. So I want it to be a sort of floating helmet. So I'm not going to do the whole helmet. I'm just going to do the front part of the helmet you saw there. So it's sort of a shape like that. A sort of diamond shape. So I need to think of what pose it would be in. So I've got a pose in mind. You can sort of think of it there. Even the simplest pose could work, as long as it shows what type of character it is. So for this Gibbemon, this will be quite a menacing Gibbemon. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to round out this edge while trying to make it pointy at the same time. Yeah, that works. And then I need to make these ones straighter. So this could also be a how to draw on how to do this. I will also make its evolutions as well. So this will be like a ghost, a supernatural and metal type. It could also be a creepy and metal type, depending on what it might be. He doesn't really have supernatural powers, but it's kind of supernatural that a piece of armor is coming together. Right, so it will be a supernatural and steel type. So, and it has a lot of holes in it. So first is it has lines. So I'm not going to go all the way up to the top there. So you need to make sure, like, if it has a design like that, like, where it starts, where it stops, does it touch the top, just to make it like that. So this, so the way I've done the lines here, it shows that this side is more bigger. And unlike the others, the line's connected to this side. Whereas in the others, it's not. And that's because of how small this side is here. And then there's also a lot of holes on it. So I'm going to do 2 holes on each side of the mask. And another thing with this is, depending on your pose, you need to learn how to make stuff appear bigger. So for example, this hole is bigger than that one because this is more close to the audience. So this hole is smallest, whereas this one's biggest. So like that. So it looks like this side is more closer. So the next part is what sort of gimmicks you want. Once you've made a sort of base, you want to know what sort of gimmicks it'll have. So for example, I'm gonna have a little out rim along it as another part of the detail. And I made this rounder because this isn't the edge of it. The edge of the helmet is way more over. This is just from the side of it. And then next, what I want to do is I want to give two holes some cracks. So I rubbed out this one here, and I'm going to redraw it with a crack in the helmet, like that. And there's going to be an eye here. So like that. And I shade in whatever's going to be black, so there. So the mist isn't going to be black, because it's going to be a ghosty mist, but you know, under the helmet. And then you might as well shade in all the circles, except for one, which is going to be this top one up here. You're not going to shade it in at all, because it's going to be another crack thing, but it's not really a crack, it's just the mist is seeping through it. So this is just your starter. It doesn't have to look good as long as you make the final version look good. So I'd say this one could be like a silvery colour, maybe with like a purple, blue, or maybe some red mist. Whatever works better. I think I'm going to go with a more purpley, ghosty mist. Silver and purple, like how that would work. Or would silver and red work better? How about I go for like a shiny colour, a golden red, and then this one's purple and silver, and the eye there's going to be yellow, right? So the next part I'm going to do is I'm going to move up to my next reference image for the sword. So he's going to have two swords. It's going to be a sort of stance pose. So I'm just going to, where the swords are, this is just going to be all just to show where the swords are. I'm going to have this sword going behind it. And then I'm going to rub those out. So I'll still be able to see it. Like that. It's faint, but you can still see it. So Spartacus uses like quite small swords. So the swords will get bigger as he evolves. So first of all, is I'll make a sort of triangular shape like that. And then I'm just going to check something. And then I'm going to make it that the top of the blade here is closer to the people. So what I do then is I taper it in. So what it means is that as it goes out, it either gets smaller or bigger as it goes out. So in this case, it's getting smaller. So see, now it looks like here is closer to everyone. Now I'm going to have a sort of faint curve there. It's not going to be completely curved. And then this one's going to be a very faint line. Just there. And then the faint line's going to go all the way down here to the bottom, touching it. And then the little handle is going to be quite small, like from the blade, and then it's also going to be thicker than a normal one. So it goes like that. So this next step with inanimate objects is is there something else to the inanimate object? Like, is it one object or is it multiple? So in this case, it's a two swords and a helmet and a being inside of it. Sort of like a phantom. You may think it's a sort of being, but it's actually an inanimate object Pokemon. Same thing with Klefki. You could argue it's a sort of spirit inside the chain of keys. So the next part is going to be quite a big oval. And this also goes back to the perception, because this is the end of the sword, so it should be the smallest part of it. So being the smallest part of the sword, the handle stops like that. And then what you want to do from here is you want to copy it onto the other side. So remember, this is going to be a reverse of this. But before we do that, I'm going to add some details to the handle. So this is going to be a wooden handle. So I added just some swirls on it, then I added a little mark there, then I'm just going to continue the line going up there. And that should be the pattern on it. Then, as I said, you're going to copy it onto the other side. So this one's going to start big and get smaller. It's going to be the opposite of this one. This one started big and went small. This one's going to start this one's going to be small up here and then be big down here. So first of all, without the size in the matter, I'm just going to do the sword like that. So this sword is going to be ahead of this one, but it is going to be smaller. Like that. And then you do the same pattern on it, like on the blade, and then you do the same pattern that was on the actual, the actual handle. And then the next step, on this one, like for an inanimate object, for an animate object Fakemon, you would do the what part's closest to the audience, the gimmicks. Are there more than one item that this is? And that's pretty much it. But the final step for this is that it's also a ghost. So I'm gonna add some wisps, like as a sort of body. So this is gonna be a similar case to Phantom, where it's still an inanimate object, Fakemon, yet it's possessed by a being. It was an inanimate object first. And there you go, that is your gladiator ghost, or Gibbemon, which the final step for this sort of thing is to come up with some sort of name. So the way I do it is I pull in a lot of stuff that makes sense. For example, this is a spirit. It's also a gladiator and Spartacus. And I also take words from other countries. So for example, this is a Greek region, so I'll see what spirit is in Greece. in Greek even. And it says right there, pneuma, something like that. So I can take that. There's Gladiator, Spartacus, and whatever that pneuma is. And then what I do from there is I sort of try and stick them together. Like, what words would go where? Like, if it was Gladiator and Spartacus, there could be Gladicus. So if you have Gladicus, and then you could add the spirit in Greece on. Gladicma. So, for example, a name could be Gladicma. And that could be a sort of name for it. And that's the name of... That's the name of this little Gibbemon right here. And then, as a sort of finishing touch, I'm just going to add a little black near here. Well, of course, this is grey, but you know, to show this is where black is. And that's how you make an inanimate object Fakemon. So this is where the video's going to end here. I'm going to make evolutions for Gladicma. Of course, you will see it again in a future video when I make more Fakemon. But for some context, I did make some more if you would like to see them. Which, of course, since I'm the one recording a video, you guys don't have a choice in the matter. Well, you could leave the video right here, right now, or you could see these new Fakemon that I made with the help of, somewhat help of Tyler. You've seen him in a video before, and if you, and in Pokemon there would be an early route grass, water, and fire type. You know, other types for the starters. For type balancing. So this is Martif, the early route plant type. And that is its alternate form. They're based on the alternate colours are based on an Amazonian tribe known as the Yanomami. And this whole line's based on it because it's a tribal look. So this is Kurardi. As you can see, has some tribal patterns on its face. And this is alternate Kurardi. I changed up the dark grey to a yellow. And then this is Figarsi. And that's alternate for Garci. And then this one has a troubling name because I only realised 2 days after that it sounds like a swear word. So instead of saying that word, you say it as if it's like a fawn, like fawny. I don't know, I don't want people saying, hey, that's the name of a swear word. No, it's not. Because I didn't know it was. And that's alternate. The alternate colours are based on an Egyptian vulture. The Egyptian vulture chicks have a different colour to their adult form. And then the whole thing is based on a phoenix. So this is Pheronix. And then, as I said, the colours change when they get older. Like for the alternate colours and for the Egyptian vulture in real life. And this is Gladiatrix. This is also based on a gladiator as well. As a sort of symbol in the middle and then some helmet stuff. And then that's the alternate one. And then this is Thalampos. He's a cute little boy. He is based on a hippocampi. They're Greek creatures. They're basically a literal translation of a seahorse. Then that's the alternate one, based on a sort of unicorn with like a yellow horn. With air quotes, yellow horn. And then this is the evolution, Sea Chitter. it makes stuff out of bubbles, sort of like Subjectively's Water Starter Final Evolution. It makes stuff out of bubbles for it to use. In this case, it's a blaster. It, of course, can make other stuff. That's the alternate one. And then this one is Kaivai Taurus. In this case, it made a whole suit of armor. So wherever you see the light blue, there are bubbles around it for an armor. And then you've already seen these ones. And then this is the final evolution, Amphipterodra. I redesigned it. So you just guys didn't see the original one, but the pose was terrible. And just get rid of all the gold armor and the gems. And yeah, that was the old one. So this is the new one. And it's red now. And I also redesigned this one a bit as well. That's the evolution of the Gorgon form. And I sort of just added legs. And then I've not added one yet. So that will be the final evolution. This one here. And then here will be the Ditto replacement. And then in these two... yeah, that will be the Ditto replacement. This one is going to have an evolution. Nice. But I will show you guys what the final evolution of the Gorgon is going to look like. There, boom. That's what it's going to look like. Actually, I have it with me right now. That's what Amphipterodra used to look like. It was going to be called Amphipter. Yeah. And also, I have another treat for you guys is some legendaries and the ancient Gibbemon. So they're fossils. So this is the horn shard. It's made. The horn shard is made of ice. This is based on a steppe bison. This was a European extinct animal, and it's made of ice. And if you look closely at the chest, you see that oval there with the purple veins. Do you know what that is? Yeah, that's proof that this isn't a children's game at all, because that's a beating heart. And then this one is based on a Homotherium. And it's with the Seance Prism. It's sort of made like with a substance that looks like prismarine, like from Minecraft. And then the dome there's made of glass and there's a spirit inside of it. This is Homet. This is Slashothermia. Oh yeah, this one is Stepassos. And this one is Culepia. And then this one's covered in liquid. They're both liquid types. This one is a liquid and earth type because I don't have an ice type in my region. This one is supernatural, then it becomes liquid type. And then finally, what you guys have been waiting for, this is going to be my replacement for Arceus. It's believed to have created the world, and I will make more Gibbemon regions. And in the regions, you will learn more about this Gibbemon, and that you see 3 forms here, and you're gonna learn it has more forms. You know, from speculation on who created the world and everyone. So this is Gaiagesty. This is based on Gaia. So Gaia, along with her, let's just say her mate, created the Greek Titans. And Gaia is Earth in English. So it's sort of based on Earth. So it has rainfall here, and then that's snow. And then it's sort of green in the middle with some blue, and then it's back to white again, like the Earth. And then this right here is its human form, or the head of its human form. And then this is Uranok. So Uranus, which is... please don't get the wrong idea, but that's what it's called. You dirty people. Anyway, Uranus in English is heavens. So the golden gates of heaven are its wings. I sort of imagined a sort of bird as it. It's made of clouds. Except for the wings made of metal. Yeah. Yeah, this is your... if you live in the Gibbemon world, this bird created the world. Yes. So did this child. Yes. It did indeed. Anyway, so that was my video on how to make a Fakemon, an inanimate object Fakemon to be precise, of course, because we made Gladicma. And I just realised there's another swear word in it, and I'm not going to change it. You dirty people. Yes, you're dirty. Dirty-minded people. Of course, you will see this guy in another video eventually. Once I've filled up this folder here, I will make up another. I have another two other folders ready for when that's all finished, and then you guys will see when it's done as the first addition to that, as well as the counterpart. So let me tell you, the counterpart will be in the next How to Design a Fakemon video. It shall be an animalistic Gibbemon. In ancient Greek, gladiators would be forced to fight animals like tigers, rhinos, even giraffes. And most importantly, for the next video, they would fight bears. Yes, this will be a bear Gibbemon. I have actually already made a bear Gibbemon, but I'm not going to show it to you guys right now because I'm a cruel person. Yes, I am. Die.